Honestly, I did not think I was gonna have to make a video on this, but then here we are. Also, side note, ignore the random clips I'm throwing in here. I just couldn't find a proper backdrop that was gonna last me the length of this video because I myself don't know how long it's gonna be at the time of recording this. So, as many of you are painfully aware, YouTube is implementing this fuck-ass policy. Just to give you the short version, you're gonna have to upload some form of ID to confirm you're 18 and older. If you're not, well, you're basically fucked. And why are they doing this, you all ask? Well, for the reason they do anything nowadays. The little kiddies at home that are watching Cocomelon. No offense to the kids at home, they were unfortunate enough to find my channel. So basically the goal of this whole policy is to protect the kids from finding content they shouldn't. Now I know what y'all are thinking, Scarlett or Zoe, however you guys know me, why are you making a video on this specifically? You never do these kind of videos. Well, it's because this could very well be the last video on my channel, period. Basically, like I said before, if you're not 18 and up, you basically have no access to YouTube. And as many of you know, I unfortunately do not meet that requirement. So basically, the scarred era, as I like to call it, could be coming to an end very, very soon. So no music videos, no updates on the song It's Great Gatsby, no covers, nada. But enough about me, because clearly I'm not the only person that this policy is going to affect. I'm going to give you one of the most prominent reasons I think this policy is not a good idea. Exhibit A, the indie animation community. So if y'all have watched my channel at all, y'all know I have a thing or a strong love and appreciation for indie animation as a whole. Now, for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about or have been living under a rock for who knows how long, here's the rundown. Indie animation is basically a film or some type of animated project that isn't made by big studios like Disney or DreamWorks. If any of y'all have been active on YouTube recently, then you'll know indie animation has only continued to grow over the past few months or years. Like, we have so many gems that are found on this platform, like Murder Drones, Digital Circus, Ramshackle, Lackadaisy, Helluva Bots, Hazbin Hotel, just to name a few. Well, technically Hazbin Hotel and Helluva don't count because of, you know, the Amazon Prime deal, but that's besides the point. Why do I bring up indie animation? Well, it's because their audience is heavily on this app. Disagree if you will, but no one can deny that the main target audience or the main people that are watching these kinds of projects are teenagers. People under the age of 18. So basically, if YouTube does decide this policy for some reason is going to benefit anyone at all, they are going to be hurting the indie animation community so bad it's not even funny. Like, I'm sure there are still a good amount of fans to, like, help support these projects, but a good chunk of the indie cartoon audience will be Thanos snapped out of existence. I mean, again, I know that people getting their accounts taken down could be unlikely because as long as you show a form of ID, you're good, pretty much. But still, indie animation, like, companies or channels chose YouTube as their platform for a reason. And some people don't have the they don't have the money to afford a Netflix or Prime Video subscription to watch these kinds of cartoons. I myself am one of those irresponsible teenagers who went on YouTube and found one of these indie cartoons and fell in love with it from day one. So just to put that all in retrospective, once the policy is enacted, indie animation will suffer some form of damage. Which brings me to my second point, which is pretty much an extension of point A. Small creators will basically not see a point in creating anymore. Now, this is pretty much a restate of everything I explained with problem A. I'll say it again. Small creators come to this platform to make billions, to one day grow big. I, myself, and a few others are in that category of small creators. We may not be indie or anything like that, but we are still small creators hoping to find some form of popularity. Popularity isn't the reason why we even come here sometimes at all. It's mainly just to have fun. Regardless on what you do as a small creator, you can't deny that the purpose of your whole entire channel is to basically find joy in what you love. I know that sounds kind of corny, but you get the point. So once this policy gets enacted, it's going to be hard to find another starting ground and regaining everything that you lost from YouTube. I'm not going to dwell too long on this point because I kind of explained everything in point A. But one big takeaway of the new policy is that regardless of the birthday you have with your email, if you've searched up content that is apparently something that someone under the age of 18 would search, then you're basically cooked. That's why in the beginning of the video I said this could be the end of the Scarlet era period because, again, I do not meet the criteria of over the age of 18. So small teen creators are bound to suffer the same fate unless they have some sort of form of ID. Since we're on the subject of kids, well, not entirely, I think it's time we jump to the next point. I think the biggest issue I personally have. It's not the children's fault, it's the parents. The entire reason why this policy is being enacted is for the little kiddies at home. If you really cared about the kids, then you, out of all people, YouTube as a company should understand it's not the kids' fault looking up certain things. It's the parents that aren't keeping a watchful eye on them. It's sort of like that one kid that gets the entire class in trouble. The teacher just has to punish that one kid, right? But no, instead of punishing that one kid like they should, they punish the entire fucking class. This YouTube policy really fixes nothing at all, because if you think about it, they're basically just making the problem way worse than it has to be. And that kind of brings me to point 4. Well, technically, I wasn't thinking of talking about it like right now and jumping from the next point to the next, but then again, that's what I've been doing for the past couple minutes, so who am I to judge? My next point is entrusting your personal info to certain apps. What's number one rule on the internet? Don't give anything too personal online for the world to see. That's how it's always been. What makes the world think that everything's changed now and that we're willingly going to entrust our ID or personal information to an app? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are pretty good people behind the scenes, but at the same time, realistically, you can't be serious, bro. Like, honestly. Collecting our info does not help anyone. In fact, it makes you guys look like creeps, and it makes us look like the oblivious people that are basically entrusting everything we have to you. I know I'm spending less time on this point, but realistically speaking, the whole data collection thing, I'm pretty sure that's a little bit too far. Age restriction exists for a reason. Y'all have too much power. It's time to wake up and accept that this is not the right way to go. But I'm pretty sure this is kind of pointless. They aren't going to take my advice, so what the fuck do I know? Oh, and now that I'm done with all my points, I'm going to spend like the next couple of minutes explaining how this is going to affect my channel. I had a lot more AMVs planned, but if I somehow do not manage to get by the whole age restriction thing, or they randomly decide that I can't use the app anymore, that's going to affect my channel as a whole. If I can make a backup account, I will, because I have joy making these covers, music videos. I have joy in everything I do. And if y'all have seen my Instagram, I'm obviously going to be more active on there. If I somehow do manage to get by just fine, well, again, that basically means you'll get to see more of me. I'm not dead just yet. I'll have my driver's permit around that time, so I should be good. So now that I'm wrapping things up, I obviously know a lot of people are not too happy about the policy. I am one of those people. But for now, I'll just keep chilling, hanging out until this inevitable August 13th situation comes to a close. But the rest of y'all, have fun. We'll see how this goes.